social justice, economic justice, and green justice models where the way that the global left and the global communist movement and the global socialist movement wanted to move this money around just on pure principle now does so in the name of, green justice. And Bjorn Lomborg accepts the premise that anthropogenic global warming is going to happen, but he says if you put all these trillions of dollars, if you cripple American industry, if you cripple, if you do all these things, it's not going to affect the climate one iota, and it's going to put America into the poorhouse. And he says these are the things that you can do practically that will have an effect, but they're not socialist and redistributionist, and therefore nobody on the left wants to look at it because the whole point of the green stuff or the former global cooling stuff or whatever they want to call it is based upon redistribution of wealth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't think Charles is making that much money anymore, so I think that's why he supports this agenda, because he wants some wealth redistributed to him, So that's what I think.
I had to tell my kids came upstairs, and I had to kindly, assertively push them downstairs.
Yeah, no, I said that. I understand why now Charles really subscribes to this global warming agenda, because since he's not making that much money anymore, since he pissed off a lot of his readership, he wants the money redistributed to him, So that's why
I'll also say this, that, I haven't really thought so much about the origins of this, but I think that there's a point to be made, is that if you're going to get back into the good graces of the left, there are certain religious aspects of being on the left that are points that you have to make, that you have to go out of your way, and one is global warming, and one is an anti-Christian sort of bent, and that's his thing. He really the way to ingratiate yourself with the left is to overplay your hand of trying to say, hey, look, hey guys, I want to be in your club. Look how much I'm attacking people on the right for being Christianist. Look at how much I'm attacking people on the right for being haters. Look at how much I'm hitting them on global warming. That's like the trifecta: political correctness, global warming, and whatever.
And this like soft spot for Islamic imperialism the left has. I mean, because you know what it is? They view Islam as like some third world revolutionary force. And the Western left always falls in love with these third world figures. So now Ahmadinejad is the new Che. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what a lot of it is also.
It's just too bizarre. It just is too bizarre, because it's him going on. I understand why Ariana did it. She went from, having nobody coming over to her house to having, Warren Beatty and Meg Ryan, and David Geffen hanging out at her house. Before that, it was Harry Shearer and Robert Shearer would come over, and there were crickets there. And so she's made a killing moving that way. But what on God's green earth has he benefited from? Perhaps but a fatwa removed. Maybe this is somebody saying, I'll remove the fatwa against you if you go after these people.
That's a very realistic theory. I have another caller here. It's one of our another ex-wizard from Arizona. It is Macker. Hello, Macker.
Hello there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. I have Andrew Breitbart here. Do you have a question for him?
Yes, I actually have a question and a comment. Andrew, I just want to thank you for your role in standing firm as a vanguard against the forces of President Obama and his goons. What you've done to the left, to Acorn, Planned Parenthood, and the unions, has set an example for citizens, journalists around the world, and you are doing what the now fifth column treasonous media refuses to do. Now, here's my question, Andrew. Please tell us that you have an ace in the hole for the 2000 election. All you have to do is just say, yes,
you
do.
Please,
and no,
please,
not yet.
come on. That's just silly talk. I mean, what I answered if I did, but I mean, I don't. All right, I just we're eating in 5 minutes at the house.
Okay.
I'm always on the lookout for the goods. Just let it be known the difference between me and others with this type of stuff is you can't just blog about it. You have to have a strategy in order to take it to the market. On the Anthony Weiner thing, you go into this knowing that they're going to accuse you of lying or manipulating. So you have to be prepared for that. You have to have a strategy to take them on. And that's you have to weaponize your content. You have to have a strategy to make it ubiquitous and to beat them at their own game. And that's what we did with Acorn. We aimed it at the mainstream media, assuming that they were going to take Acorn's side. That when the first video came out, that Acorn was going to not deny what you were seeing with your own eyes. And when they denied that when they said this was an isolated incident, then we showed the second video. When the second video happened, they said, oh, they were kicked out of Los Angeles, New York, and Philadelphia. And in fact, they had successfully gone into those offices and they aided and abetted in their nefarious project. And so every step of the way that the media predictably went along with Acorn, it didn't just make Acorn look stupid, it made the Democrat media complex, the media, look stupid as well. And so you have to understand it's not just about getting the goods. I mean, look at the goods on Solyndra. But what is ABC, CBS, and NBC doing about it? You have to come up with a strategy to make it so that these people are held to account. That's what I'm trying to teach people, and I'm hoping that people start realizing that the way that the left was able to mollify people in the realm of the media was to claim that there's something called objectivity. Objectivity was just a weapon that the left would use. It took over the media and said, hey, we're just objective people, and it was their way of find a Walter Cronkite who's an activist at heart and who showed his true colors later in life, trying to help cover up for Bill Clinton at the height of the Lewinsky thing, and he went out on Cape Cod in a boat with the Clintons to try and make it look like, hey, look, I support the Clintons in their time of peril when he's lying to the country and he's lying under oath and subverting somebody's rights. There was the person that represented neutrality inserting himself at the latter part of his life. That's what we're up against. We are up against fifth columnists who happen to be journalists. We are up against fifth columnists who happen to be actors and directors. The left was able to infiltrate our country through its cultural systems, and this is an existential battle.
I totally agree. Andrew, I have another caller here. It's the person who booked you here. It is Mr. Bunk. Hello, Bunk. I have Andrew on.
Hey there, everybody. Booga booga and all that stuff. Andrew, I've got one quick question. I know you got to go, and it's a little bit lighter. Why do you even bother with the tweet wars with Charles Johnson? Why don't you just ignore him?
Well, I don't know how many times you've heard me state this, but I'm petty. And
I saw that.
Whether it be a person at the Brentwood Country Mart harassing me, going out of their way to try and harass me, the guy that I was having lunch with said, oh, just ignore it. I'm like, no, it's not in my nature.
Oh, we saw that. You're talking about the guy that got up in your face and all.
I said, don't touch me. He tapped me, and I said, don't touch me. He tapped me again. I think he wanted to get punched by me, and I didn't want to be drawn into that. So I thought the best way to out him was to out him and take a picture of him and let people see what this guy is about. And that's what I'm trying to do with Charles Johnson.
But you also know the rule of blogging is you don't feed the trolls.
Okay, well, I break so many of the rules, it's ridiculous. I mean, Keith Olbermann when he was at MSNBC getting 200,000, 300,000 a night, spend every night going after Bill O'Reilly, trying to get his goad. You're supposed to attack the person above you, and if they hit, if it hits and the person reacts, that's supposed to be your victory moment. Well, I work upon the exact opposite. I go after everyone. I mean, I find myself being attacked by anonymous people with 3 followers on Twitter, and I'll just attack for hours on end. And I hope that people who are paying attention are entertained by it, because to me, I look at the stream and I find myself laughing, thinking that this has to be interpreted by any reasonable person as incredibly humorous performance art.
Well, I watch it a little bit, and you retweet all of the crap tweets that you get, and
I'm called gay by everybody on the left, and so Charles Johnson is obsessed now with political correctness and pointing out that people on the right are hateful against gay people and black people and anyone that isn't, cock.
But the left always brings
with a magical ponytail. But he's conspicuously.
Andrew.
Let me finish. He's conspicuously absent. He obsesses on my Twitter feed, which is filled with anti-gay built, and he doesn't attack the left for exhibiting the things that he claims that are only supposedly on the right. So he's such a hypocrite. He's such a fantastical Dungeons and Dragons, inside, shut in, Anthony Perkins-like, freak show. He looks like, yeah.
He once thought, in the early days of the Tea Party, there was these people with the Tennessee state flag. He swore it was the symbol of some South African neo-Nazi group. I am not kidding you. He was claiming the Tennessee flag was a Nazi symbol. I kid you not.
Oh, and the Ohio flag, too.
Wow. I mean, boy.
The Ohio flag was Obama's.
Boy, and if he wasn't paying attention to Free Republic and paying attention to Buckhead, he wouldn't, and if I didn't link to him, nobody, would know who he is. So it's those people who he's attacking, the Buckheads of the world over at Free Republic and the Andrew Breitbarts of the world, he would not be a publicly known person had I not drawn attention to what he did on the Dan Rather thing. And so I apologize for having, helped aid in the bet in hoisting his magical ponytail, his jazzy magical ponytail into your lives.
Andrew, you are forgiven because Charles Johnson has provided so much entertainment for me blogging the last 3 years. I'm glad you brought that clown on the scene.
Yeah, I know, but we have more important things to do, and I hope that he gets that fatwa taken off of him from CARE and the radical Islamists, because he's had to throw a lot of people under the bus in the process, and he's had to believe in crazy dominionist conspiracy theories and in order to do so. And I just want to end on the note that everything that I do is in the secret pursuit of trying to put intelligent design into the classrooms of Los Angeles Unified School District. Bye, Charles.
Thank you, Andrew. That's great.
Andrew, thanks a lot for calling in. Okay, Andrew, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye, man.
Well,
guys, wow.
Is that a jaw dropper or what?
Everybody, I just want to thank Bunk over here, everyone. Bunk was the one who brought in Andrew Breitbart, and I'm going to bring everybody in one-on-one so we can have our little powwow council. We have a lot of people